and lots of folks will be seeing different events and different sights and sounds here at the State Fair this year. One of them is the Ice Museum, and Stan is here from Auburn. And Stan, this is a brand new thing to the Great New York State Fair.
Yes, it's actually our second year.
Okay.
This year it's all new and bigger and better with a fully functional ice bar inside.
All right, now, so how'd you come up with this idea? And is this a special skill you've been cultivating all your life?
Yeah.
What's up with that?
I went to culinary school back in the 80s and graduated and learned to do ice sculpting there and worked on it over the years and became a passion. And I had this dream for several years to do a big venue where people could go in and check out sculptures in the heat of the summer.
Okay, and with regard to the sculpting of the ice, is this chainsaws? Is it knives? Is it a combination of implements? What do you use?
We use mostly electric chainsaws, then die grinders and ice picks and ice chisels and irons and torches, you name it, we use it.
I got a question. How do you prepare for this? And tell me about some of the times where something goes wrong and it doesn't work for you. What is that? What is that like as you chuckle?
Believe it or not, over the years I've learned quite well. I do a lot of what's called ice fusion. I can glue the ice back together, so if things do go wrong, I can repair them. As far as this event, though, the Ice Museum here at the fair, it took over a month to build it. We started July 27th. Involves 400 blocks of ice. They're all 300 pounds apiece. It's a fully refrigerated building at 18 degrees.
And that's how you keep. Is that how you keep the ice contained? Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Now, do you have artistic abilities with your hand when you draw something? Do you have to draw it ahead of time before it becomes a reality in the ice sculpture? Do you use clay to work things out first? Do you use other media aside from ice?
Most of my ideas come from looking around, seeing other sculpture, or seeing drawings, or seeing art done, or pictures of animals and things. I do drawings beforehand. I'm not great at a sketch artist, but I've gotten better over the years. But we do a drawing and then transfer that to the ice. The 3D part comes naturally to me for some reason.
That was actually one of my questions. You know, being 3D, the ice, there's really, kind of hard to define, certain angles and things. How do you know that the detail is coming out properly? And how do you even just start? How do you put this together, really?
Well, there is a whole process of starting, with the drawing, and then we call what's blocked out, which we cut away the big stuff that doesn't need to be there, and then it comes naturally, the form and the motion. You have to pay attention, but over 20 plus years of doing this, I've gotten pretty good at it.
Now, you mentioned the ice bar. Do you serve beverages there at the ice bar?
Absolutely.
What's up with that?
Well, inside we have an ice bar, which is completely made of ice. The bar stools, the tables, the bar, everything is made of ice.
People sit there?
People can sit in there. There's fur on top of the stool, so it's not too uncomfortable. And we serve beer and cider menu inside.
Very nice.
With this vision, is there a practice run? Do you duplicate this somewhere else to try to get the idea?
No.
This is a one-shot deal.
It's a one-shot deal. It's all planning it for a year.
Wow.
On the concept. It's a round-the-world theme this year, so we have different countries listed with a sculpture for each one.
But you mentioned if you do screw up or if the ice somehow disintegrates or breaks apart, you've got some sort of glue that you use to get them back together? What is that?
Ice glue.
Explain that.
You ever stick your tongue to a light pole?
Yeah.
That's how ice glue works.
Yeah. Is it used for any other purposes other than ice? And
No, it's just water. When the ice is cold, it sticks together.
Okay, very good. We're talking with Stan from the Ice Museum, and I see your shirt says the Ice Farm.
Yeah, that's my company, the Ice Farm Incorporated, but the Ice Museum here at the fair and the ice bar here at the fair.
Okay.
How do you get your foot in the door? I know you said this is something that you've been wanting to do, you envisioned for a while. It took a year in the making, but how do you get into the New York State Fair and say, hey, I'm the guy, I really want to do this, and I can make it happen?
Well, it's not really that difficult these days. It's a whole bid process, or, you can go through and bid on a site, or basically you pay for the area. But I've been working the fair as a caterer for several years, so I've been in and I know the people in the office, which helped a lot.
Yeah. Any other sculpting? You veer off from ice and get into any other?
Oh
other
yeah, I do.
Sculpting?
I dabble with wood sculpting, chainsaw carving, and I could pretty much do anything that's 3D medium.
Are those similar, ice and wood? Is it
similar? Yeah, we use the same tools mostly.
It's interesting now. The weather today is about 70 degrees, a little bit cloudy, a little bit cool right now. As the fair continues over the course of the next 12 days, there's going to be days that are going to be pretty hot. Folks come into your place just to cool off?
Yeah, that's the best part about this place. It's on the hot days, it's the best place at the fair to cool off. You go inside, is cold, but you certainly can, if it's hot out, it feels really good for a while, and you go in and you get to see some awesome artwork.
And the Ice Museum is located where at the Great New York State
In
Fair?
between the horticulture and international buildings across from Gianelli Trackside.
And what's the occupancy level for one sitting at the Ice Museum there?
We
How many?
keep an occupancy of about 50 people
Okay.
that we can keep inside, but the flow goes quite a bit. So I mean, if we do get to that point, we let 10 in, 10 out.
And do you have limits for cocktail consumption there? And do you ever have to throw anybody in, cut them off and throw them out of the bar?
Anybody that's assumed intoxicated won't get served.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah.
So,
Has that happened to you before, though?
in different venues, never in there. I mean, it was typically a 1 or 2 drink. You can't stay in there long.
Right.
You mentioned a capacity of 50 people. So when I walk into the Ice Museum, what's envisioned? What do I see when I go in there? How's it laid out?
It's a 2,000 square foot building. The walls are made of ice. All the sculptures are made of ice. The bar is made of ice. Pillars, everything. So it's a must see.
Wow, that is interesting. And do you get a lot of flack from your friends during the summer season, being hot, and here you are playing with ice?
People always think I'm nuts.
Stan, thanks for spending some time. We really appreciate it. We're going to make way for another guest now. If you'd hand off your
Awesome.
headset, and we're going to welcome in another guest right now. Best of luck with the Ice Museum here at the Great New York State Fair.